Hello, Internet. It's been a while since we started here, huh? Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. In the last episode, we caught Entei. Fucking bitch of a Pokemon. Oops. This time, let's see what we did between episodes. I used the item the Verse Seeker. I used the item the Verse Seeker. I used the item the Verse Seeker. I used the item Verse Seeker. So yeah, I used the Verse Seeker a lot between videos. Luckily, I had about a week, like more than a week, where I was sick. I was basically locked to my bed whenever I wasn't at work, which gives you a lot of time to just spend grinding up your team to be like level 65 across the board. So here we are with level 64 Pokemon and level 65 starter. And, you know, it was not as painful as you'd think. This lady has a Chansey, only Verse Seekerable Chansey in the entire game. You know, it took a lot of time, but when you're sick in bed, what else are you gonna do? There's only so much you can really do, so yeah. These are about the levels I would recommend you to have your team at for what we are doing for the remainder of this series, which, as you would know, is taking on the the Elite Four rematches. Their Pokemon are all a lot stronger now. And I did find that this typically was a lot faster than just going in and fighting them until losing. So this is ultimately what I did, and it worked out. Our team is pretty strong right now. I gotta get back to a Pokemon Center real quick. So after taking some brief time in the Pokemon Center, this is what our team is currently looking like, because we have some preparations to make before we're actually ready to take on the Pokemon League a second time. Pokemon League is tough now. We want our team to be tough to match, so let's go around, get some things that I feel would be necessary for taking on the Pokemon League, and then start our challenge. To start with, I want to head to 4 Island. Obviously, breeding for stronger Pokemon is an option here. You know, it's a very viable option even, especially if you have Pokemon with good IVs just from catching stuff for the Pokedex throughout the game. I'm not going to be doing this because I'm a Let's Player. I've used my team for an entire series. It would be a little weird to just ditch all of them in the last, like, 3 episodes, but it is, like, a good thing to maybe do for this if you're willing to grind new Pokemon up. What we're here on 4 Island for is these gentlemen. Ready? Boing! We're having a body slam match to see who wimps out first. If you were to join us, you'd be squashed like a bug, though. How about I teach body slam to a Pokemon of yours instead? Okay. This move can only be learned once, as with every move tutor move. I want to teach this to Rhyme. I've thought about this a lot. Swagger has not been very useful recently, especially. A lot of the Pokemon that it would be useful against in the main story were Pokemon that didn't have physical options. We're mostly going up against Pokemon that have a lot of mixed options, and Swagger is no longer really useful as a result because they can take an attack boost to their advantage. This would be useful if we had double battles coming up, maybe, but we don't. So, yeah, I'd rather have Body Slam for that paralysis chance, as well as just for another move with good PP if we run out of, return. Boing! True. There, boing! You're awfully heavy. Okay. Is this Yowie? Next up, we're going to be heading to 2 Island. Before anything, I need to get some mushrooms in my bag because I know I moved those all to the PC. I actually only need one, big mushroom. We've done pretty well for ourselves as far as, getting the movesets I want, so I haven't had much reason to really bother with the move relearners, but I do have reason now. Also, I had a Max Repel active that whole time. I'm the Pokemon Move Maniac. I know every single move that Pokemon learned growing up. I'm also a Mushroom Maniac. Bring me 2 tiny mushrooms or 1 big mushroom. If you do that for me, I'll teach a move to 1 Pokemon. You smell of mushrooms. That's not very nice. Okay. So, I've been thinking, do I really want to get rid of, Solar Beam or Frenzy Plant? Yes, I do. I want to get rid of Solar Beam. I already gave up on using Sunny Day because I don't trust myself with it after our first challenge to the Elite Four, especially against the champion. And while I did use a PP up on Solar Beam, PP ups are renewable if you have the Meowth Mafia, and I do have the Meowth Mafia. If I need more, I can get more. Frankly, I prefer the slightly higher reliability of Razor Leaf, even though it's still not completely reliable because of that accuracy, but, you know. I prefer to have that reliability, knowing I have a move I can just bust out in 1 turn and not have to recharge or anything, over a 2-turn move that I frankly already have a better version of. I can't forget Solar Beam, and learned Razor Leaf. Alright. Next up, we're heading back to the Kanto region. Our next stop is this tall grass in the badge check gates. Not you! No! You're too strong. And fast. Yeah, I hate Wild Fearow in this game because you can never escape from them. And when your thief Pokemon is a Butterfree, that's fucking annoying. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna cut my losses on this one because it will not fucking appear. The Sand Slash that can appear at the badge check gates have a 5% chance of holding an item called Soft Sand. This increases the power of ground-type moves by 10%. I'm not actually planning on using this. I was only trying to, like, get it so I could have it. But whatever, I'm not going to use it, so who cares? This is a good item for Pokemon that are going to be using Earthquake primarily, though, and it was something I was considering for Annabelle. I know what I want Annabelle to actually hold, though. Victory Road is next up. Oh, first try in here. The first Pokemon, well, the second Pokemon technically that we're trying to use Thief on is Machoke. Do you have it? No, you do not. Well, whatever. This is another item I'm not planning on using, but Machoke has a 5% chance to be holding a Focus Band. This is an item that makes it so there is a 5%, or not a 5%, a 10% chance for the holder to survive a hit with 1 HP 10% of the time. It's not as good as a Focus Sash in future generations, but the Focus Sash doesn't exist yet in Generation 3, so this is the best you can get as far as, like, getting Generation 5 sturdy before Generation 5. I haven't fought this guy? Yes, I did. Okay. Hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Well, if nothing else, this is an opportunity to get the satisfaction of using Dream Eater and Sleep Powder again, so I'll take it. Especially since Margarine has actually lost some HP. Hell yeah, look at that. So damn strong. Maybe I'll use Butterfree again in a future Let's Play just so I can use this strategy again. We'll see. The power plant is our next stop, if you couldn't tell by that battle outside the power plant. See, this one's gonna take the longest because this is the one held item that I actually want. Like, I want to use the one I'm going for now. Man. Like, I'm playing the game where Magneton is objectively more common, and I still can't fucking find one. Oh. Well. That's another one where if I start bitching, it'll appear immediately. Magneton has the last held item that I want to get. Well, one of them. There's another one that I forgot to put in my notes, but Magneton has a 5% chance of holding a magnet, which increases the power of electric-type moves by 10%. And I actually want to use this item, which means I need to stay in the fucking power plant for even longer and find another Magneton until I track one down that's actually holding the fucking item I need. Magneton is way too rare here. It's annoying. Still nothing. Great. 3. Did I mention that I'm recording on real hardware again, by the way? Because that makes this take a lot longer. Still nothing. 5. I have decided this is the last one. If I don't find it, I'm just gonna go without this held item and change my plans, because I'm not having fun. Alright. Guess I'm not using a magnet. It was an item I really wanted to use, but Game Freak decided to make this game fucking annoying. In Pokemon Leaf Green, there is one more held item you can obtain. Specifically, in the Lost Cave. Wild Misdreavus in Pokemon Leaf Green only will be holding a spell tag 5% of the time, which increases the power of Ghost-type moves by 10%. Obviously, I am not going for this, but this would be very, very good for a Gengar or a Misdreavus if you're using one. And increasing the power of Ghost-type moves on a type that primarily is consisting of special attackers, it's pretty good. I don't know what the fuck just happened there, Capture Card, but you better cut it out. So with that 40 minutes of my suffering over, that does it for my preparations for my team, as far as, like, movesets go. And I have all the held items I could possibly want, so let's actually, like, put the team together. We're going to give our Pokemon their held items in the order that we caught them. Starting with Haket, I want her to have the Miracle Seed. I would give her a Poison Barb if I had one, but I don't have one, so we're just gonna give her what little boost to her grass moves we possibly can. For Annabelle, I think the Quick Claw is still the best item for her. I really want, like, I was considering Soft Sand, but I think the chance to move fast is going to be best on her, since she is definitely maybe tied or a little bit faster than Umi, but as far as I know, she's our slowest Pokemon. Lamp can have the Charcoal. That boost to her Fire-type moves will be pretty nice. As with last time, Umi is our tank. She gets leftovers. So my initial plan for Gaster was for him to have the Magnet. I think I'm going to go back to giving him the Twisted Spoon like last time, though. I think if he can't have a boost to Thunderbolt, then a boost to Psychic is the best he could ask for. And lastly, for Rhyme, the Silk Scarf. Just to make his body slams and returns even more powerful than they already are. I think we have like 44 full restores, 43, so I'm just gonna buy 2 to bring us up to an even, not even, an odd 45, but you know, it's a multiple of 5, so it's still satisfying. Revives. We need to buy a lot of these. Not that many, probably. Hopefully. Dear God, I hope this doesn't go that poorly. 23 is fine. I think this is the setup I want for my team going into this first battle, and I think I'm ready. I'm really happy with this team. I was not sure if this team would hold up as well in Generation 3 as it did in Generation 1. And obviously there are some things that didn't hold up quite as well. But overall, I'm still really happy with it. I think Annabelle and Haket maybe did not get to shine as much as they did in Generation 1. And maybe that's so for a lot of team members here, but they still had a lot more going for them than I was expecting. And so, let's go through, use the last of our vitamins, and then finally take on the Elite Four. Starting with this HP up. I don't know why I had this and never used it. I don't know if anybody on our team can actually use this anymore. Haket? No. Umi? Yes. How are your EVs not maxed out? Whatever. PP ups. Okay. I'm not sure. I want to give one to Razor Leaf. I'm giving another one to Metronome because it's funny. I'm going to give one to Sludge Bomb, I think. That's 2 of these on Hiket. She just has good moves. Lastly, this PP Max that we got from 2 Island, not 3 Island. It was on Cape Brink. It was our last normally obtainable super secret item. Do I want to use this on? This is the equivalent of using 3 PP ups on a single move, so it maxes out the PP of a move, as per the name, I guess. I'm not really dying to use this on anyone. Honestly, I think I'm going to use this on Gaster Psychic. That's like one of the moves that I've most consistently run out on PP for like this entire team is Gaster Psychic and Thunderbolt. I think having better PP on just one of those is going to be really good. With that, here is our final team. Gaster, knowing Thunderbolt, Metronome, Psychic, and Shadow Ball. Lamp, knowing Flamethrower, Will-O-Wisp, Overheat, and Grudge. Annabelle, knowing Earthquake, Aerial Ace, Rock Slide, and Brick Break. Rhine, knowing Return, Body Slam, Hidden Power, Ghost, and Iron Tail. Umi, knowing Surf, Toxic, Rest, and Ice Beam. And Hiket, knowing Sludge Bomb, Swords Dance, Razor Leaf, and Frenzy Plant. Alright. I'm gonna heal up, and we're gonna head in. I've been recording this episode for 50 minutes already, and we're only just heading into the first of these battles that I have planned for this video, so that bodes well for future me. Alright. Let's head in. As you saw before, I am leading with Gaster here. I would recommend leading with an electric type if you have one, otherwise just something with an electric move that can resist water and ice moves, which doesn't describe many Pokemon. Gaster can't even resist them, but at least he's not super affected by them. Anyway, welcome to the Pokemon League. I, Lorelei of the Elite Four, have returned. You know how it goes. No one can best me when it comes to icy Pokemon. Freezing moves are powerful. Your Pokemon will be at my mercy when they are frozen solid. Are you ready? I hope so. Elite Four Lorelei would like to battle. Leading with Dugong, level 64, Water Ice type, thick fat for the ability, knowing the moves Surf, Ice Beam, Signal Beam, and Double Team. She has added a Bug type move to this thing's arsenal to make Grass types even more screwed. For some reason, even though Ice Beam is better against Grass types, and I don't know what else Signal Beam is really adding to this other than the chance to confuse, but whatever, we're just going to use Thunderbolt. Yeah, the Elite Four's teams have gone up by about 10 levels, and they're all going to have slightly different movesets and even some different Pokemon. They're still only going to use 5 Pokemon each, though. What do you think this is, Unova? No. Of course, a single double team, and already we can't hit her at all. That's the Elite Four, baby. Oh, Gaster, that was a lot more damage than I wanted. That's fine. Take out Dugong. All right. 1 Pokemon down. Not expecting this fight to be particularly challenging. Jinx is one of the Pokemon I was worried about, though. Jinx is level 66, Ice Psychic type, oblivious for the ability, so it can't be no, it's immune to attraction? I think. Yes, because Own Tempo's the confusion one. Knowing the moves Psychic, Ice Beam, Lovely Kiss, and Attract. So it has Attract. Have fun. I'm going to use Shadow Ball. I'm predicting it to go for Psychic, which will take Gaster out, but we can at least get a little damage up. One shot? Gaster! I know Jinx isn't, like, particularly strong defensively, but You're not particularly strong physically either, Gaster. Okay. Lapras, her second ace, is level 66, water ice type, water absorbed for the ability, and holding a cherry berry, so it'll heal from paralysis right away. I think the citrus berry it was holding before is probably better, but whatever. No, the moves Psychic, Thunder, Surf, and Ice Beam. Okay, Thunderbolt. I don't think this will knock out, but that's gonna do good damage at least. Yeah, half health already. Why are you going for Surf? You have a super effective move. Are you... Okay. It's still knocked out, but... You had a significantly better option open to you and you didn't use it. Interesting move. I'm going in for Annabelle, which may seem weird, and it is weird. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's because I was expecting the Quick Claw to kick in and instantly let me knock it out with Brick Break. But my expectations have been proven false before. Oh, Annabelle, hang in there. No! Why did I do that? Oh, I'm already making awful plays and it's only the first one. Okay. This may seem stupid because it has Ice Beam. I'm expecting her to use a full restore. Yep. I was debating using Frenzy Plant here just to knock it out immediately, but on the off chance she didn't go for a full restore, you know, I didn't want to have to be stuck recharging on the next turn. Nice crit, Hiket. Yeah, she's not using a second one, and Hiket is weirdly fast. I'll always remember that about her. Alright. Lapras is down. That's one of her scarier Pokemon. Cloyster is level 63, water ice type, shell armor for the ability, so it's immune to critical hits. And it moves Rain Dance, Surf, Ice Beam, and Supersonic. This thing's moveset is worse than before. It can set up Rain Dance, which is a little annoying, but whatever. I think we're good to use Frenzy Plant here, knowing what her last Pokemon is. This will knock out, I know for a fact, because we're holding a Miracle Seed and we're Hiket, who always knocks out, because she's a fucking champion. Piloswine is her last Pokemon, a new addition to her team from the Ice Cave. Piloswine is level 63, Ice Ground type, oblivious for the ability, known the moves Earthquake, Blizzard, Double Edge, and Rock Slide. Do you want to know something? I used Frenzy Plant against Cloyster, fully expecting this thing's Blizzard to miss on the following turn. I'm just sick as fuck. I don't know how else to put it. Okay, not quite a one-shot, but if it was a crit, it would have been. Watch her survive this Blizzard, too. Piloswine's stats aren't even that good. Hiket, please don't make me eat my words. Thank you. Yeah, Piloswine is not a special attacker, so I was not too afraid of that, even if Blizzard did connect. Alright. That's our first battle here down. Not too bad. Things shouldn't be this way. In the end, it has to be this way. You're better than I thought. Go on ahead. You only got a taste of the Pokemon League's power. Okay, yeah. Their dialogue doesn't change much. She had some new lines right at the beginning, but unfortunately they were not thinking that far ahead when planning rematches for the sequels, remakes. So let's go into the next battle and test that theory.
I am Bruno of the Elite Four. Through rigorous training, people in Pokemon can become stronger without a limit. I've lived and trained with my fighting Pokemon, and that will never change. Winter, we will grind you down with our superior power. Hoo-ha!
Yeah, his dialogue doesn't actually change at all. They thought to change Lorelei's dialogue, and then as soon as they got to Bruno, they got lazy. I think that's really lame. Bruno is leading with Steelix, level 65, Steel Ground type, sturdy for the ability, knowing the moves Earthquake, Rock Tomb, Iron Tail, and Crunch. His Onix have evolved. We're just gonna go for Surf right away, though, because Steelix's special defense isn't that good. Easy one shot. Alright. Hitmonlee is next, level 65, fighting type, limber for the ability, knowing the moves Mega Kick, Foresight, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. I don't know what this thing can really do to Umi, so I'm just gonna keep using Surf. It doesn't have anything that can really punish him too bad. Sure, Mega Kick. Wow, not even half health. I'm so scared of Hitmonlee. That's a sentence nobody's ever said. Alright, Hitmonlee's down. What's next? Hitmonchan! I should have probably expected that. Hitmonchan is level 65 fighting type, keen eye for the ability, known as Sky Uppercut, Mach Punch, Rock Slide, and Counter. This thing is bulkier. Not by much, though. Ha! Nice miss, idiot. Dumbass. Idiot. Well, that was just redundant. It became less cool when I used the same insult twice. Idiot! Oh my god. Awesome. Missing with both uses of Sky Uppercut. We're just passively healing every turn. Nice full restore. Watch me freeze with Ice Beam now. I could easily switch out and stop just using up PP, but I have PP restoration items in the bag. I'm not really that worried about overusing any given moves. At least not at the moment. We're still early on in the challenge, so it's not really a big deal if I use too much PP for Surf or anything. Especially because in Elite Four battles, you really know, like, you're gonna have one team member who's probably going to be the star of every given battle. Like, well, of any given battle, not every, but for this one, that's Umi, so Umi is definitely going to get some use from Surf here. Machamp! Level 68, fighting type, guts for the ability. Do not use Toxic on this. Holding a Persim Berry, so it'll heal from confusion instantly. Again, a questionable held item replacement. Knowing the moves Brick Break, Cross Chop, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. This is a better moveset than last time, and I don't know what it's gonna go for, but only one of its moves can affect Gaster, and I don't know why it would go for Rock Slide here, so I'm just gonna switch here. Yeah. See? No effect. Nice. And now we're just gonna go for Psychic. Machamp's special defense isn't great, and we are getting boosted from Twisted Spoon, but this isn't stab or anything. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to knock out, but I don't think Rock Slide will knock out either. Because Gaster's just awesome. He's legendary without being a legendary. It's impressive, really. Machamp is down. Okay. Last Pokemon, Steelix again. Level 66, Steel Ground type, sturdy for the ability, knowing the moves Dragon Breath, Iron Tail, Earthquake, and Crunch. This thing's even worse than the last guy. Like, at least the first one only had one special attack. Why do you have two? I know I've said in, like, I think Onyx's bio, maybe Steelix's, that Dragon Breath is, I guess, good enough for utility for paralyzing, but even that's only, like, a very slim chance of happening, so I don't know about this moveset. Steelix does have a really solid sprite in Gen 3, though. Anyway, bye. Bruno is down.
Why? How could I lose?
Because I have a shiny water fox.
My job is done. Go face your next challenge.
We'll be doing that next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. We took on Bruno and Lorelei. I almost said Agatha, which no, we definitely didn't. And we prepared our team for said battles. So next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, we take on the remainder of the Elite Four. See you guys then.